The mechanism of breathing is very simple, and we have to understand it in terms of ribs, in terms of intercostal muscles, as well as the diaphragm movement. The muscles of the diaphragm, in case of inspiration, they become lowered from its normal dome shaped structure. Generally, it's a dome shaped structure which is inverted C shaped. But during the process of inspiration, since we want the chest to be completely, or the thoracic cavity to be completely filled, or our lungs to be completely filled with oxygen, we want the entire area, or we want to increase the entire area, or give sufficient amount of surface area for it to be completely filled with air. So this happens in three ways. First thing is the diaphragm, which is generally dome shaped, it becomes less dome shaped and it becomes little flattened, and because of which the chest cavity it increases its size. Second important thing is that the ribs, they come outwards, and they come when they come outwards, it can only happen with the help of the muscles which are attaching them. So the external intercostal muscles, they basically contract, and as a result of which the ribs, they come outwards. So from the down part, that is the diaphragm part, the chest cavity has increased. From the upward part, that is the ribs part, also the chest cavity has increased. Now since the thoracic entire cavity has a very large surface area, so it is getting filled with, it gets completely filled with air. So as the volume of the thoracic cavity tends to increase, the air pressure inside the lungs, it also falls, and this fall is as such that it is lower than the atmospheric pressure, and as a result, what happens, this causes a partial vacuum to be created inside the thoracic cavity, and as a result, very high amount of oxygen from the outside, it comes inside the lungs, and the lungs, they get completely inflated, they are completely filled with air, because from the region of higher pressure to a region of lower pressure, a very high rush of air takes place, and as a result, our lungs are filled with oxygen, as well uh, as, as a whole we can say it is filled with air. This is the process of inspiration. During the process of expiration, what happens, reverse of what has already happened. So diaphragm, it becomes normal shaped, like it becomes dome shaped, C shaped structure is attained. As a result, the thoracic cavity, it is decreasing its volume, right? So the muscles and the inter the internal intercostal muscles, they actually contract, or we can say the external intercostal muscles, they relax, and as a result, the normal positioning of the rib cage, it occurs. It was outward, now it becomes inward. We shouldn't say inward, it just comes back to its normal position. And in this relaxed position, what happens, the relaxing movement, it decreases the volume of the entire chest cavity. Both the ways the decrease is taking place, first was, it was the diaphragm which had given it some area from the below part. Now diaphragm has moved up to its normal position, so less amount, the thoracic cavity is already getting less volume. Secondly, the ribs which were outwards, now they have again come back to its normal position, so ribs have also shifted back to its normal area. So again, the thoracic cavity has decreased. As a result, there is a high amount of pressure which is built, and since this pressure is inside the lungs, it increases with increased atmospheric pressure, and the vacuum which is present inside the lungs, it forces or it squeezes all the air from the inside of the lungs to outside, and this is known as expiration, or relaxing of the lungs basically occurs during this process. So it's again the three things which have occurred. First is the diaphragm, it has moved back to its normal dome shaped area, so the thoracic cavity's entire structure, or the surface area, has decreased. Second thing is the ribs, they again came back to its normal inward position. As a result, the thoracic cavity decreased, and finally the intercostal muscles, they also relaxed, and as a result, the relaxation of these external intercostal muscles, it also helped in moving back of the ribs, and as a result, the squeezing of the air from the lungs took place, and now again the lung is devoid of any air, and the entire process can be repeated for the second time, the inspiration process. If we just want to summarize it in simple words, first thing is the rib cage, it expands as the rib muscles, that is the intercostal muscles, external intercostal muscles, they contract. Second thing is the diaphragm, it contracts and moves down. It loses its dome shaped, C shaped structure and it becomes flattened in the inspiration process. While in expiration, the rib cage it becomes smaller because the intercostal external intercostal muscles, they are relaxing, they are contracting. Internal costal muscles, they are contracting, not the external one. It has to be kept in mind. Diaphragm, it has relaxed and it has moved back to its normal position, and as a result, expiration, the entire air which is filled in the lungs, it is squeezed out. This is how the process of respiration actually occurs, inspiration and expiration, with the help of these muscles as well as rib and the diaphragm. There are few things which have to be learned and kept in mind. These are known as the capacities of the lungs. First thing is the tidal volume, the maximum amount when we are normally inspiring or inspiration and expiration is taking place. During this time, we are not forcibly doing anything. We are just taking in air and releasing out, taking in oxygen and releasing out carbon dioxide. This is known as tidal volume. The volume normally taken in and expelled out from our lungs in a normal respiration or is known as tidal volume. Normally, it is equivalent to 500 ml. If you see this flow chart, you can very well understand that the tidal volume is this area, only this small area of 500 ml is the area which is known as tidal volume. Next is inspiratory reserve volume. This is forcibly. When we are taking in air, but in a forced way, we are trying to take as much air as possible. That is known as inspiratory reserve volume, and it is 3000 ml. You can very well see the inspiratory reserve volume. It is from 3000 to 6000 ml. This is inspiratory volume. Similarly, expiratory volume is also there. You can see it is also 3000. So the way inspiratory reserve volume is the forcible inspiration which we are doing. Similarly, forcible expiration is known as expiratory reserve volume, and it is also 3000 ml. Vital capacity is the maximum inspiration and expiration of air taking place in an like inspiration what we are doing in and expulsion of carbon dioxide from our lungs, and this is known as vital capacity. So if you see this entire area, this entire 4500, this entire area is known as the vital capacity. It is the maximum inspiration and expiration which we can generally do. So it is from around 1500 to 6000, which is roughly equivalent to 4500 ml. Residual volume is the amount of air which is left when we are inspiring or expiring. When we are doing inspiration or we are expiration or we are taking in oxygen and and expelling out carbon dioxide, during that process some amount of air is still left in the respiratory tract. That air is known as residual volume. If that air is not left off, then the collapsing of the entire respiratory tract will take place. That's why this air is very important, or and this residual volume is very important. It is 1500 ml. This area, you can see, this entire area is known as, this is 1000, this is almost 500, so 1500 almost. Okay, so this is about residual volume, and the last part is capacity. This is as the name suggests, the total amount of air which can be taken up by both the lungs is known as the total lung capacity, and it is 6000 ml. The entire graph which is made, it is made in 6000, from 0 to 6000, and that is the maximum capacity of the lungs. So these are some of the terms which have to be understood and have to be kept in mind. Next is the rate of breathing. Generally, in an adult, in 1 minute, they can breathe or inspiration and expiration which can take place, it is 14 to 20 times in a minute. So this is something which is to be kept in mind. Small 1 marks question can be asked regarding this, and these capacities of lung is very important, and even the mechanism of breathing is something which is very very important. I hope you all have understood it quite well.